Now you can. Or you could.
Okay. So we can start the meeting with the whole system, whole safety discussion. The safety 180 videos should be coming out. We're working on a way to get them so they're readily available, so we can run those again once a month. They're making a video that is applicable to everybody. Sometimes they might be more maintenance focused, sometimes they might be more engineering focused, but I do think it's important that we go over those videos. It's 180 seconds, it's 3 minutes, and I think it's just a good reminder. The culture is really what they're observing in all these safety evaluations that they've done and some of these incidents. It's really, sometimes we get complacent in repeated work and repeated behaviors, and we tend to skip steps, and we tend to maybe not have that quick conversation before we go out on the grade of the hazards, or what we should, what's my job when I get out there, if I'm going to be a spotter, or how we're going to cross the road, and what we're looking for. And so I think these videos are really good for all of us, even those of us in an office and we don't get out in the field that often, to watch these videos. So please, supervisors, make sure that you're going over these in your monthly meetings with your staff. And staff, if your supervisor is not going over them with you, talk to your supervisor and watch them yourself and be the leader. Make sure you're rolling that out. Say, hey, we haven't shown this one yet. Let's watch it. Okay? Another item, so the Strategic Safety Initiative Project Fund. I think some of us have heard all about, the 6-inch stripes, the big push for 6-inch stripes, MASH compliance guardrail, rumble strips, cable rail. This is a program that, we got $11.4 million in fiscal year 19, so obviously that ends here in about a month, to get these dollars quickly deployed. The program goal is fund low-cost, high-benefit safety or operational improvements on CDOT facilities across the state. So they're really trying to figure out, how can we make a difference on our project today? And they're not for, hey, let's go study this, or hey, let's, design this. No, it's how can we make changes and spend those dollars on the road that make the biggest impact today. So this is a program that's funded $11.4 million for fiscal year 19, and then another $12-ish million for 20 and $12-ish million for 21. So our traffic engineers, Larry Haas right now is going to be sort of the communicator down to Kyle Lester will be running that bucket of money, that program, but it's good for maintenance dollars or regular program dollars, so construction dollars in our residencies. So they haven't developed performance measures yet. They're actually working on that because they want to say, hey, we made a $36 million investment over the next 3 years. How well did we do? Did we make a difference in how we invested these dollars? So they're in the process right now of developing those performance measures. If you guys have ideas, innovative ideas on how to improve our operations and our safety on our roadways, please share those with Larry because we're part of this program. And again, it's another source of funding for us. So real quick, we have a couple of special guests in the audience. So Matt, you want to come up here and just introduce yourself?
Thanks, Heather. Hi, I'm Matt Enzio. I'm the new PIO, or the old Amy Ford, if that's easier. This is week 3, so was mostly excited to get a chance to come up here real fast, speak to a few different members here in our floor, and glad that the man behind the camera certainly will be my normal day-to-day point of contact, but excited to start to get to know all of you and tell more stories about the good work that you're all doing. But excited to be joined up and looking forward to working together.
Thank you. So think about that when you're putting together the S-bar. You need to know all the background behind it in case they happen to ask a question. Otherwise, put together like the person reviewing it's 8 and keep it simple and it'll get through no problem. All right, couple things to note from TC this last week. they're moving forward some build grant applications. What's been put forward are passing lanes and cable rail projects. I think they're gonna kind of do a combination of passing lane and cable rail projects across the state, one big build application. And so if you have a specific project in mind, which I think we do, 287 and 40, but work with Larry and Katrina on those jobs. If we end up with $100 million of passing lane projects, then that committee will sort of whittle down what are the ones that we think we're going to get the biggest return on our investment. There's discussion of some flap grants. There is going to be coming our way soon is bugle staying. They're going to do a pilot of it. It'll be 5 weeks long, running from bus staying from DIA to Estes Park and back. They're really focusing on families to get up there and see the rut and see what kind of success it brings, and if they're successful with providing a different mode to get up to the national park and kind of enjoy the scenery up 34 or 36, whichever route they take. We could see that probably being repeated more often, but they're going to apply for a flap grant for bus staying. Really good news for Region 4. We got a TC resolution on, and to be specific, it was to approve the permanent alignment of the EIS for North I-25. So this is huge for us, you guys. This was basically commission is committing another, we'll have to go back, but $250 to $300 million, depending on what delivery method we choose, for segments 7 and 8. So no longer will we be building to the interim, which is building to the middle. We're actually going to reconstruct all 14 miles, get it on the permanent EIS alignment. And so that project just got extended another 2 years. But that's really good. It's really good news for Region 4. So we're pretty happy about that. Also, they passed a resolution to fund the design for the mobility hub on State Highway 56 and at Berthoud. So we got construction funds from the mobility hub at Kendall Parkway last month, and now we're getting design funds, and soon to follow construction funds, hopefully, for that mobility hub. So if you're not seeing a theme here, you probably should be. The mobility hubs are becoming quite popular, and it's good. Region 4 was forward-thinking in their EIS and had identified these. Maybe they didn't have the name mobility hub, but we always had envisioned the park and ride and a transit facility for the express bus service. These are center-loaded platforms, so operationally they work great for the bus, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of them with this new administration. And then I guess along with that, and Sophie probably could have talked better to this, but there is the Front Range Rail. And part of the reason for the investment in these mobility hubs is to really build that demand on the I-25 corridor to see if the ridership is there. And if the ridership is there and we can build sort of that community around taking another mode, not dictating mode, but having options to take another mode, could you justify a Front Range Rail? So there is a whole committee looking at that, and they're going to be looking not only at rail, but other modes of transportation. Although their commission is very focused on passenger rail, I think it's important to note that there are other modes out there, like electric buses, and I think our express bus lane is really going to be, it's going to be state of the art, and it's really good. We're going to see a transformation, I think, in northern Colorado, by staying up north, the North I-25 leg. I think, if I get the number right, is about 60% pays for itself, which is huge when you look at transit. All transit is subsidized. Believe it or not, all of our roadways that we drive on every day are subsidized by the taxpayer. So for us to be over 50% paid for itself, that's pretty successful service. All right, and then the other thing that happened at TC was Nikki Upright, and I don't know if she's here, and Flatiron received a project management award. So that was huge for her on 60 and 257. So let's get a round of applause for her. All right, so I'll do a couple announcements. So we're gonna do the barbecue for the Director's Cup. I think it was decided today. We're gonna keep it June 17th. So we will be getting calendar invites out if they're not already out. So please make sure your staff, make sure maintenance staff gets here. We did a barbecue last year. It was one of the most successful events we had. So look forward to that. We're all deserving of taking the time off to enjoy visits with our colleagues and eat some good barbecue. That same week, Transportation Commission is doing a road tour, and they have picked Region 4 to do that road tour. So some of you may have been asked by Karen. I've asked Karen and Beth to help me with the logistics, making sure that we're showcasing all of our wonderful projects, as well as some of those roads that maybe aren't as great, just to continue to justify that need for transportation funding. But we'll be headed out on grade on a couple projects. I-25, Big Thompson, I think we're hitting the S-curve. So stay tuned on that. And Helping Hands, I don't have much of a wellness update. I was hoping Nikki would be here, but I know the Helping Hands golf tournament is June 1st. So please sign up if you haven't. It's always a lot of fun, and it's a really good fundraiser. Building updates. Looking at you, but I think the main update on this one was that we did get a new bike rack installed out in the back. So if you continue to use that alternative mode of transportation to CDOT, you can now park your bike in the back. So that's good. Pool vehicles. There's a request from Norm that if you are using a pool vehicle, to return your pool vehicle to the same spot you took it from. Assuming that spot is still available, but that is a desire for pool vehicles. So when we're sharing those, everyone knows where they can consistently find that vehicle that is their go-to vehicle. All right, Lou, I'd like to bring Lou up.
Oh, watch out now.
So Lou did something really cool, and I'm gonna let him talk about it.
Thanks, Heather. I want to talk a little bit this morning about that O Street Design Challenge we had. Just to wrap it up one last time. If you're not familiar with it, we had an engineering problem that needed to be solved on the north side of Greeley. And we weren't getting a lot of really good alternatives. So we got the idea that we would go ahead and put it out as a sort of a challenge to all the people in this building to come up with some ideas to help us brainstorm the issue. And the response we got was really pretty surprising. And it came from Region 4 and in headquarters. And we had just fantastic participation with 13 submittals. And we had a little party here.
Not just engineers, too.
And not just engineers. No, we really wanted to get it out to everybody. And I think that if this happens again in the future, don't feel like it's just for engineers. It's for anyone. We all drive cars. We all get around. We all know good design when we drive it. We all know bad ideas when we see them. But really, it's open to everyone. So if we do it again, please jump on it. But we had great response from Region 4 and from headquarters. And I was just going to go through and read off the different winners. And everybody was a winner. And first off, I want to say Rich Barker had the best idea of everyone. All right, Rich. And if we had $800 million, he would have won. No, seriously though, Rich had a great idea. So we'll just start with the great ideas category. We got Rich Barker and Brenda Balasek and Ben Zhang and Chris Linway and Chad Hall. And just in that bunch alone, they're from South Program Residency, right away, and EEO office. We had the next category we call the runners up. And they also lots of great ideas. And in that group we had McConan from the Central Program, Jerome Estes, who's an area engineer down in Denver, Jake in traffic, and Justin Pipe at the Loveland Residency. Why not? Hey, come on. And then the winners, and there were several of them, and they were all winners because their ideas all converged around the same sort of solution. And that's Stacy DeWitt from Boulder, Drew Ferns from the Lyman Residency, Scott Hofficer from Staff Traffic down in Denver, and then the bang up team of Scott Kemper and Keith Wakefield. Great ideas, and I think we're gonna design one of these ideas and build it. So how about a little round of applause? Thanks again for all the answers. We really appreciate it. It makes the job fun, by the way.
Thank you, Lou. Region 4 is always looking for ways to be more innovative, and I think this was awesome. And I think it made it fun, friendly competition, and added value in the end. So thank you for putting that together, and for all of you that participated. I just want to read a good news item. This is from Allen's Park, and this goes out as a shout out to our Boulder and maybe Lincoln maintenance units. So dear Colorado Department of Transportation, on behalf of our board of directors, our members and myself, I would like to thank you for your assistance on the tiny house wildland fire. We greatly appreciate your apparatus and members' response to this incident. Without your willingness and availability to help us in our time of need, we could not have had the successful outcome we had with no injuries or structures lost. It's my sincere hope that we will be able to return your kindness and expertise should you call on us to assist you in the future. Many thanks again for your help and service. From the fire chief. Sorry. So I wanted to bring up anyone who has any other announcements that they would like to make. I know Tim's got something. Juliet, you might have something. I don't know. And also be thinking if we've got any new hires. I'm going to hit Tim first, but if anyone's got any new hires that they would like to introduce.
Morning, Region 4. I just wanted to inform you that Jason Caskey will be departing from CDOT. He just found another opportunity. So I just want to give him a round of applause for all the superb work he has done for the Also, I wanted to say thanks to Rich Barker. Rich Barker has been instrumental in helping maintenance out with properties, whether it's a sale, whether it's purchasing property. He's unable to do that for us and moving forward because of the workload that his unit has, but he has pushed us a long way, and I just want to say we really appreciate everything that you've done for us, Rich. Also, tomorrow morning we will have the AAS degree program. We will have the director of the program out here. We'll also have Paul Woods. Paul Woods was really the big part of this and putting it together, but there were a team of maintenance people that have done it together as well. This is the only AAS degree program in the nation. So other states are already on board and want to build that. So it's the AAS degree program in highway maintenance management. So if you're interested, it will be here tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay? And I think that's all I have.
Yep.
All right, guys, just a couple of quick things. I know Nikki couldn't be here today. Nikki Upright. So, and I'm not sure if this goes in the category of wellness or helping hand, but so the Ironman, they're going to continue to have this year. It's June 9th, and they do need some volunteers. So if anybody would like to help out with that, I know we have quite a few people in the building doing wellness and helping hand, but she needs a little help. The garden boxes are done, and so anybody that would like to participate in taking care of those. I think Vicki, you're still a little involved in that. No, Jason. Oh, gotcha. Jason up here is your guy to go to. So if you'd like to help with those. Then also, there's a Good Vibes class on June 11th. So if you'd like to sign up for that, Nikki did a great job through Wellness to be able to get that class to come to CDOT. Email her, and I'm sure she can still get you in that. And then the last thing I'd like to say is, so I always force my work unit to do a little attitude of gratitude. during our work unit meetings. And so I just wanted to call out Nikki Upright. So she has done wellness and helping hands for years, and I know she has a great pool of people that really help her. But I think she loves it. You can tell she's passionate. But thank you to Nikki Upright. She does such a great job. I really appreciate those two different programs. They do so much for us. In October, on October 9th, she has the health fair that's coming up. I think that it's such a great thing for Region 4. So a little hand to Nikki Upright. I really appreciate it.
Okay, a couple more things. I would like to call a few people to come up here, please, and then while you guys are walking up, I'll have a few other announcements. So, would Juliet come up here? Jan, Chad Hall, Tim Bilbrand, McConan, and Tom Aguilar. Yeah? Come on up. Okay, so a couple other announcements. June 4th is the rodeo at Platteville. This is a really awesome competition.
No, him.
Oh,
Get
I'm kidding. With maintenance staff, it's a friendly competition, but they learn a lot, and it's fun to go watch. And there's a barbecue, so if you guys can make it out there, more details. I think we'll get it on the board as far as the rodeo, but attend if you can. As well as June 25th is Bike to Work Day. So if you haven't, if you're not a regular and seasoned biker to work like Bryce, you should get your bike out, get it tuned before you start. But Bike to Work Day is usually, it's a good event. And we typically partner with Promontory, and there's always good snacks, and so I highly encourage that.
And I do more miles than Bryce does.
Oh my.
Just so
All right. Is there any other new hires that anyone wants to introduce? Okay. All right. So you guys are all wondering why you're standing up here. And in case there's a commonality amongst all of these, and I don't know if you know what that is, other than they're all taller than me. But no, I've been sitting on a pile of leadership coins for quite some time, and I'm not sure why I haven't done anything with it, because it seems like I routinely see people exemplifying leadership. But I wanted to recognize these 5 individuals just for the leadership that I've observed since I've been in this position and over the last couple of months. So Jan specifically really helped with the workload utilization for our program engineers. And I guess what I want to say about all of these is that their attitude is positive. So consistently they exemplify a positive attitude. Consistently they raise their hand in a willingness to help. And that's huge, and that's what I look for in a leader. And I think they really showcase those leadership qualities. So, Jan, thank you for just stepping up. You've been a shining star up in our area, and just always got a positive attitude. Always has a smile on his face. If you want him to do anything, he'll do it. So, maybe run it through Jim first, but he's always willing to help. Juliet, thank you for I had no idea how much personnel stuff Juliet deals with, but she's done a phenomenal job really coaching me through these RTD duties, because it's a heavier lift than I think people give it credit for, and so I do appreciate all the mentorship and leadership that you've stepped up in this time. Tom was awesome. Tom always is that smiling face. He's always a source of knowledge. He's always willing to go the extra mile. Tom took me in before RTD interviews and says, hey, you need to learn this MDSS. And when I was really thinking about going for it, he helped me out. He took time out of his day to train me. And so I really appreciated that. So thank you. Tim, you've been awesome to work with. We get to work now more one-on-one with your role in utilities, but Tim has been very resourceful. He's very thorough in the work that he does. I ask him questions. If he doesn't know the answer, he goes and finds out what happened. That unit over there, I don't know how they keep track of decisions that were made for the last 20, 30, 50 years, but somehow they seem to do it. So Tim really helped me out with some signs with McWhinney's. He's been really helpful on the frontage roads on I-25. And so I just really appreciate your commitment and efforts. And Chad, thank you for, I got to know Chad through the course of the last couple of years, but I got to recently work with you on Peckham a little bit, and Chad always is willing to help, provides a lot of good input and insight, and tries to give that backstory. It's hardworking, and again, it's that positive attitude that I really appreciate. And McConan's not here today, unfortunately, but McConan as well. He's just one that always has a smiling face, always willing to take on new duties, new assignments, and so I really appreciate that. So to you all, I have coins with your names on here. I'll get them out. But thank you. Can you all give these guys a round of applause? All right. With nothing else, I'll give you guys your coins in just 1 second. Anything else for good of the order? Anyone else have any updates?
No, please.
No. All right. Well, thank you.